live every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hosted by me, your girl Lashia. Join me as I discuss social topics, spotlight independent artists, and share financial tips. Join the conversation. I want to hear what you have to say. Think Different TV, where minds meet. You're the reason I wake up, the reason I smile.
But the secret is you got to coordinate. Most people don't coordinate, so you got to coordinate. You need me, I'm touching me confident. You need me, Sherman. Sherman, no matter what, you got to strut.
Can you strut? You could win $100. Join the Strut Challenge. Video submissions are due December 1st, 12 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. The rules: 1 minute long. Use Strut audio. Hashtag Strut Challenge. Follow at Lashia Star. Winners are announced December 15th at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Will you pass on the opportunity, or will you stand up to the challenge? We're still in round 1 of the Tournament of Champions. Episode 3, Big Daddy Beard goes up against KB. Who will advance to the next round? Find out by tuning in Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Think Different TV YouTube channel. Imagine a high-stakes trivia game show where contestants face off in intense battles of wit, strategy, and nerve. Every decision matters. You can take a chance on yourself or your competitor with the ultimate goal to come out on top and win the grand prize. It's not just about knowledge, it's about strategy, guts, and the thrill of uncertainty. Our enigmatic host, Bubbles, guides contestants through the ultimate trivia showdown. This is Think Different TV's Player Pass. Are you ready to pop? Catch Think Different TV's Player Pass every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Think Different TV YouTube channel. Enjoying the show? Big fan of trivia game shows? Would you like to be a contestant on Tdtv's Pop? We'd love to have you. Contact us at 267-225-1824 or email lashiastar2@gmail.com.
The champ is here. 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 The champ is here.
We go drink water and mind my business. Mind my business. Drink water and mind my business. I go drink water and mind my business. Mind my business. Drink water and mind my business.
Hey, you're watching my mommy on Think Different TV.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Think Different TV, where minds meet. I am your host, Lashia. What's up, y'all? How was y'all weekend? How are y'all doing today? It is a beautiful Monday indeed, all right? So there's a lot that has been going on. This weekend has been crazy for me. I worked, but before I continue on, on Friday, I actually went to the homegoing service of my cousin Vaughn, and he was one of those cousins that you didn't talk to him often, but if he knew you got something going on, he made sure to show up and show out. So I want to dedicate this episode to him because he was one of the people that supported me in my Primerica journey. He was one of the people that supported me in this journey of Think Different TV. So much love to him. And I know that he is flying high with his eagle wings because he is definitely an Eagles fan. And I guess
Maybe that's the reason why the Eagles won against the Rams this past Sunday. So yeah, shout out to my cousin Vaughn. And condolences to his family, his sons, his daughters, his wife. It was a beautiful service. All right. Enough of that. Cause this is Think Different TV where minds meet. Once again, I'm your host, Lashia. And I know at the beginning video I had a few things coming at you all at once, but I want to just break it down really quick and easy because I don't want y'all to miss out on this money that I'm giving away. All right. Before I go any further, I want to thank all of the people that are tuning in on Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. But I just want to let you know, if you're on Instagram and you want to comment and you want your comment to be seen and you want to be heard, make sure you mosey on over to YouTube because I still cannot see the comments courtesy of StreamYard. I can see everybody else's comments, but Instagram comments. So just letting y'all know. I'm pulling up 3 times in a week. Actually, I gotta update this. I'm pulling up 3 times in a week. You know, Sunday, in my opinion, by Think Different TV's Lashia is on It's Yours Radio. Shout out to host and my bros, Donnie and Beck. It's Yours Radio is every Sunday between 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Live 97.5 FM in Salisbury, Maryland. Or you can listen in on www.live975.com. Then you have Think Different TV, which is every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here on the Think Different TV YouTube channel, Twitch, Facebook, and Instagram. All right. You know, I shout out to my Tdtv fam all over the country because you could be anywhere, but you decided to be here with me. So I thank you so much. You know, Think Different TV could not be made possible without viewers like you and our sponsor, Euphoria Water, which we did the drink water and my business. All right. And then also shout out to Imitation by Jarrell. Queen been rocking out with me since the beginning of the show. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell on my YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any new episodes, replays, or exclusive interviews from Think Different TV. Also, let's share the love by sharing the live. After you share the live, make sure you hashtag Tdtv. All right. Now, I said 3 times. I only mentioned 2 times. The 3rd time is Think Different TV's Player Pass, which is on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we have the Tournament of Champions going on. And it's so dope to see people fighting for their $150, okay? Fighting, all right? And it's a trivia game show. And I will be, after the last Tournament of Champion episode airs, which is the finale of the season, we're wrapping up this first season with 48 episodes. 48 episodes. That's a lot of money I done gave away. And me and Bubbles, we struggling. But after that last one airs, I'll be running some replays, and then April of next year, April 2025, starts the 2nd season of Think Different TV's Player Pass. Now, this season gonna be a little different. It's still gonna be the same format and everything like that. Still trivia, still, you know, you either Player Pass, the pass back per round, all of that good stuff. But get this, we're going to be doing teams, and we're going to be doing a college tournament, and we're going to be doing a high school tournament. So if you know anybody that you want to team up with to come on Think Different TV's Player Pass, feel free to shoot me a DM at Tdtv Pop Game Show. If you know any high schoolers between the ages of 13, 14 to 17 that want to be on the show, exercise that high school brain of theirs, make sure you send them my way. College tournament, we gonna see if we have some rivals, some college rivalry going on. So have them come on the show and exercise their big old brains and prove who is the best from either school. So it's a whole lot going on with the different TVs player pass. We actually have the Tournament of Champions, which round one, episode 3. All right. So we have KB going up against Big Daddy Beard. All right. Who will be victorious? Who knows? Tune in tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, shout out to Big Daddy Beard, BDBGP. He just did his Battle of the Beats episode 47 yesterday, and it was El Jihad against Merge Baby, and the pre-show featured my song Strut. So shout out to Scooplo, DJ Aquarius, and also Raven, who was the engineer. Strut, I'm running a contest for Strut. So put on your best strut. I need to have the videos in by December 1st, 12 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that means 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you send in your videos. Make sure you hashtag strut challenge, because the person with the best strut gets $100. All right. And the winner will be announced December 15th at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on December 15th. That is 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. Now that we got that out of the way, and I think I touched on everything. Shout out to King George of Black 31 Magazine. On IG, it is Black Magazine 31. Make sure you go ahead and follow. This is the first issue that I was featured in. King George is doing, I want to say, the Lord and the community's work. Okay. He is making sure he's shining a light on entrepreneurs, people who are giving back to the community, also people who just have a story to tell. He is based out of the Philadelphia area, and he has digital copies available and physical copies available of Black 31 Magazine. Again, on IG, it's Black Magazine 31. All right. This is the first issue that I was featured in, and then this was the second one, the Women's History Edition. The beautiful India Rose is on the cover. Also, you can get this digitally as well. So shout out to King George for continuing to do the Lord and the community's work. We have LO with Birth by the Code, an album with 19 tracks on it. I am on tracks 9 and 13. So make sure you go ahead and check out Birth by the Code. It's available on all streaming platforms. Get it today. Shout out to LO for letting me be part of his album. Wise Choice Massage Therapy is my business. I am a licensed massage therapist, and I specialize in Swedish deep tissue, prenatal, and chair massage for corporate events. So if you are looking to book a session, or if you want to book a session for someone else, treat someone else, holiday season coming up, hey, let them know that I got the hands and I'm here in Philly. I want to say Philadelphia area. So just if you're in the Philadelphia area and you are looking to book a session, definitely do that. I come to you. I am a mobile massage therapist. All right. And like I said, the Think Different TV's Tournament of Champions is underway. So I hope that you tune in tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But wait a minute. I want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight, because we have a crazy topic. This is crazy to me, because when I told my mom what it was, when I showed her the video, she thought I was talking about her. I'm like, no, Mom. You're like the best mom any of the grandkids could ever ask for. She's always there. She always makes sure they have what they need. So, and she's not, she knows about boundaries. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Because some people don't know boundaries. They be doing too much. So I was like, Mom, it's not about you. Don't ever take it that way. The reason why this topic came to my head, though, is because I was on Facebook and I came across a video where it was a video of, like, it said, my daughter before she went to her grandmom's house and after. Before she went to her grandma's house, her ears were not pierced and she had hair on her head. When she got her daughter back, that girl didn't have no hair on her head and her ears were pierced. And I would have flipped a lid. I would have hit the roof. All right. Because talk about disrespect, right? And the crazy thing about it is that a lot of times these grandparents don't even be feeling like they did anything wrong. So, without further ado, we're going to get into this hot topic of tonight. I promise not to keep you long, but here is the hot topic.
I'm coming in hot.
How about new?
Come for the show, yeah. Put up for certain, yeah. Come set the mood. You come like sunshine, yeah. Come meet the moon. Baby, go so fine, might give her the woo.
I'm going to share with you something that grandparents will absolutely hate me for, but it needs to be said. These are 5 signs of toxic grandparents. The first sign of a toxic grandparent is they sow division. A toxic grandparent would rather see family division than togetherness. A toxic grandparent may look at a grandchild and try to pit them against their parent or other family members. The second sign of a toxic grandparent is they will play favorites. Oftentimes they'll pick one grandchild to shower them with love and affection, even at the expense of other grandchildren. The third sign of toxic grandparents is they completely disregard boundaries. Toxic grandparents, they don't understand the need for parents to have privacy. They may show up unannounced. They insist all holidays be with them, or they withhold love and affection just because they don't get their way. The fourth sign of a toxic grandparent is they undermine parental authority, and they insist on imposing their own will. The fifth sign of toxic grandparents is they flat out bully. They maintain a constant stream of insults, and they could care less how anybody else feels as long as they put themselves on a pedestal.
What do you do when grandparents try to overrule the parents? This is a tough one. Anything to do with family can be a very sensitive topic. With the understanding that every family is different, I'm going to answer this in a very general way. As the parent, you get to decide how you want to raise your children. You get to choose the morals and the values that are most important to you and what you want to instill in your children. Not everyone is going to agree with your parenting decisions, including grandparents. This is where you need to be very clear on what your non-negotiables are and be able to communicate that effectively to other people, including grandparents. The conversation might sound like this. I understand that you expect a hug every time you come and visit, but we're trying to teach our children about body autonomy, and so we will not be forcing them to hug if they do not want to. Others may not agree with the boundaries you've set, but they do have to respect them. If they refuse to respect your boundaries, then you are within your right to determine how often they get to spend time with you and your children.
When your adult child communicates with you about how they're parenting their child, what products they are or aren't using, corrects you on things you aren't up to date about, or simply lets you know, hey, this is the way that we're moving in our system. The only thing you need to do as a grandparent is say okay and fall in line. Some grandparents are so loving and supportive of the parents and are a safe space when parents need a bit of help or have questions. Then you have some grandparents who have a very hard time not being in control. These grandparents are more than likely controlling parents. They think they have to tell you everything, impose, or expect you to do things how they want you to or how they did it. Basically stripping the parents of autonomy and the space to grow and be confident in parenthood. If you're the grandparent who moves as if you're taking the lead and you get to supersede the parents, knock it off. If your adult child and their spouse have any sort of backbone, it's not going to end well for you. You should be proud of your adult child and their spouse for being so informed and intentional with their child. Like, you should be jumping for joy that you get to just be grandma or grandpa and you don't have to take on the responsibility of being the third parent. It should make you happy that they're knowledgeable and above all, just doing what works for them. Saying things like, well, I guess I did everything wrong then, or I guess you guys just know everything, and just being so condescending or nasty and judgmental is counterproductive and inappropriate.
Oh, I've been needing to get to making this video for a while. I just haven't gotten around to it, and I figured today was a good day to do it. So let's talk about boundaries. Say it with me. Boundaries. Actually, it's more about a lack of respecting boundaries. That's what this is more about. Disrespecting parents and disrespecting boundaries. Okay, let's say we have a family member, a blood relative, a grandparent, this is about my grandma. Okay, fuck it. It's my grandma. It's my maternal grandmother. It's my mom's mom. We've been going through an ongoing issue, so let's just get into it. I have an 8-year-old, okay? And she will take my 8-year-old while she's with her dad. I live 2 hours away from my kids' dad. So my grandma lives in the same town that my kids' dad lives in. So when my kids are at their dad's, she will pick them up and do this. She will take my 8-year-old daughter and she will get her bangs cut like twice a month. I mean, they are chip chopped up to here. Like it's just super short. It's not something I would pick for my kid. And I don't care for it. So I told my 8-year-old a couple months ago, I was like, next time grandma takes you to go get your bangs done, tell her mom you don't want your bangs cut anymore. I thought it would be a simple, just, letting her know thing. But 2 weeks later, when I see my daughter, her bangs were chip chopped again. I'm like, did you get your bangs done again? She's like, yeah, I told grandma that you said you didn't want me to do them. But she said, well, honey, it's your hair. It's your decision, not your mommy's. So we'll go get your bangs cut if we want. That's what my grandma told my 8-year-old, that it wasn't her mom's decision, that it was her decision. I was so mad. I messaged my grandma and I was super nice, but I was like, hey, I know Lila told you I didn't want her bangs cut, and I know you told her that it's not my decision, that it's her decision, but she's actually 8, so it's not her decision. This is between me and her dad to make this decision, not an 8-year-old nor you. So I was like really nice about it. I was like, if going to get her hair done is a bonding thing you like to do or something, by all means, take her once a month and get her dead ends trimmed or thinned out, whatever. But moving forward, let's leave the bangs alone, please. And I thought we were on the same page. She made up this big thing about, oh, honey, I've never just went and done it. I only do it when she calls me and says her bangs are bothering her and she wants them done, which isn't true. My 8-year-old doesn't call her and say, hey, let's go get my bangs cut. Like, that's not true. My grandma will influence her because she knows all kids like to go to McDonald's and Burger King, as do mine. And like, my grandma will influence her because my daughter likes to please whoever she's in front of. So if she's in front of my grandma and my grandma's influencing her, of course she's going to say, okay, let's go. My grandma will call and be like, do you want to go get your bangs done? And after we do your bangs, we'll go to McDonald's or Burger King afterwards. Influencing her to want to go and do this. And it just boils down to not being her decision. So after I talked to her and told her, you know, like, by all means, if it's something you enjoy doing, go get her dead ends trimmed off once a month or something. But moving forward, let's leave the bangs alone. Thought we were on the same page, but we weren't. We were not on the same page. Matter of fact, we weren't even reading the same fucking book. Because 2 weeks later, when I go see my daughter and pick her up again, her fucking bangs are chipped again. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I pick up my phone and I message my grandma and I'm like, you were so fucking disrespectful. I said, I made it very clear. I was super nice, but very fucking firm and very fucking clear where we stand on the bang situation. And you went against me again after I personally talked to you one-on-one conversation in a text message. So you can't say that you didn't know or you didn't understand. I've got fucking receipts of asking you nicely to leave her bangs alone. And you go against me and you fucking do it again anyways. What makes me the most mad about this is she would never disrespect my nephew's mom and do that to her. I know she wouldn't do it to her because when my nephew was little, he had like these beautiful long curly locks and his mom, they were so cute. His mom like grew his hair out, Sage, with his like curly long hair. And my grandma and her husband talked shit about it all the time. They hated his long curly hair for being on a boy and they wanted to cut his hair, but his mom didn't want his hair cut. And guess what? It's his mom's fucking choice, not theirs. So did my grandma and her husband go cut his hair anyways? No. You know why? Because they'd never fucking disrespect my nephew's mom. They would never go against her and do something that she said not to do with her kid. Because you know what? That's not their place. So why? And that's not even their granddaughter. Like my nephew's mom, like my nephew is related to my grandma through my brother. That like not, it's not even like she respects somebody that's not blood more than she respects her own blood and granddaughter. And if you see this nephew's mom, sorry, it's not about you. You know I love you. I'm just making a point. But yeah, she would never ever in a million fucking years think about disrespecting my nephew's mom and doing something with my nephew that his mom told her not to do. I know with school starting that we're about to have a huge fucking problem. I just spent $40 this weekend on school haircuts for both the kids. I went and spent like $300 on school clothes. And I know while they're at their dad's, my grandma's going to try to go take them to get haircuts for school. And I told their dad, I'm like, look, I just spent $40. School starts in like 12 days. They don't need another haircut for school on top of what I just did. And like I sent my grandma a copy of our court papers because it says very clearly in our court papers, any appearance changes such as tattoos, piercings, haircuts are to be made by the mom and dad. It is to be agreed upon by mom and dad, not dad and grandma, not mom and grandma, not dad and my grandma, mom and dad alone. I sent her a copy of those papers and she still has went against me even after seeing that it's in our court papers. I told my kids' dad, I'm like, look, I've never pressed the issue before. I'm not telling you that I want you to call and consult me before you go get every haircut. But what I'm saying is moving forward, she is not allowed to touch her bangs. She is not allowed to take her and get her bangs cut anymore. Like me and you by court order have to agree on this stuff and she's not allowed to take her to get her bangs cut anymore. I'm putting my foot down on it. And I know she's still going to try to do it. She's been doing it more and more ever since it's been an issue. It's like out of spite. She's purposely trying to pick at the situation and doing it more than ever. It's insane. It's disrespectful. I don't know where she thinks that she has any... Actually, I do know. I know why she thinks she has a right to do it. It's because I used to be an addict and I wasn't the best mom in the world for a period of time. And in her eyes and in other people's eyes, I have no rights and I am not worthy of a lick of respect when it comes to my kids, which is fucking bullshit. It's gonna stop. It's gonna stop real soon. But they think that because of my past that I don't deserve the same respect as any other mom. I don't deserve the same respect as any parent in the world that they would give that respect to. Like I don't see where in their head they can justify the way that they're acting and the things that they're doing. I have literally put myself in every pair of shoes I can fucking fit into, trying to see this from a different angle trying to figure out how on earth they could justify what they're doing. And no matter which angle I look at it, which pair of shoes I'm putting on, I cannot fucking justify their actions. I cannot justify going and doing something with an 8-year-old that their parent, their mom, has made very clear they don't want you doing. Where on earth is that okay? How is that okay? How are you making that something that's okay? I don't get it.
Woo! Man, oh man, how dare you set boundaries? I'm grandmom or granddad or the grandparent. This is a touchy subject for a lot of people because it's like when you're a parent and you have parents and then you have children and you're right in the middle. It's like when you create boundaries dealing with your children, your parents they still look at you as if you're a child. So they're like, how dare you give me rules? I birthed you. I spent X amount of hours in labor giving birth to you. How dare you tell me what to do? Which is so crazy because it's not telling them what to do. It's telling them that, like, giving them a blueprint, if you will, on how they should be with your kids. You went through labor giving birth to your kids. So why doesn't the same thing apply? There are a lot of grandparents out there stepping on their children's toes, or not their children, but the spouse of their children's toes when it comes to how that person wants to raise their child. There's a lot of different categories, like religion. What kind of religion, religious sect do you want your kids to come up in? Some parents might raise their kids as Christian, and then one of their children decides to become Muslim. And then they're like, and then they want to raise their children as Muslim, or they want to become Jehovah's Witnesses. And then their parent is like, well, wait a minute, how you could become a Jehovah's Witness? You don't want to celebrate Christmas anymore. You don't want to celebrate holidays anymore, and one way, so some parents might be like, it's their decision. They're adults. That's the life they choose to live. And honestly, my dad would be like, well, more money in my pocket. I ain't got to worry about getting gifts. But other parents would see it as a slap in the face. Like, I've been raising you this way for however long, and now you decide you want to change up and you want to live a different way of life and blah, 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 blah. And then they feel so disrespected that they go against the parents of the children on several different occasions. For example, this is disrespectful. And even though the grandparents might not see it as disrespectful because they feel like, oh well, this is how I show my love, and this is how we celebrate Christmas every year, so I'm gonna get them a Christmas gift. But these kids are not supposed to be celebrating Christmas. So now you're saying to the parents, I don't care what kind of boundaries you set. If I want to give them a Christmas gift, I'm going to give them a Christmas gift because that's how I raised you. And how dare you now change up everything and your kid is missing out on decorating the tree and hanging up Christmas stockings and all the different stuff. And it's just like, are you kidding me? Like, we don't want to we don't want that for our children. It could start off as something really small. Hey mom, like when my son is over there, make sure he doesn't eat any sweets because his teeth are a little, on the bad side as it is, and I'd rather him have an apple or some grapes instead of having candy. And the parent be like, okay, no problem, no problem, no problem. And then next thing you know, you come into the house and he got a lollipop in his mouth. And you're like, Mom, I told you I didn't want him eating any sweets. Well, it's sugar free and it's not gonna hurt nothing. You're not the one that's gonna be ultimately paying the dental bills. When he has to go get a root canal or get cavities pulled or get stuff filled in or whatever it is that they do, you're not gonna be the one footing the bill. So stop giving them candy. And it's just like, why are we doing this? Haircuts. All right. So I want to preface this by apologizing to my son's father because at one point my son's hair was getting a little crazy, and we didn't know that he was on the spectrum yet. We just knew that every time we tried to comb his hair or brush his hair, he would have a whole meltdown. He would run, he would scream, he would cry, he would throw like the biggest fit, right? So I'm like, we try to just ward it off as like maybe he tender-headed, right? But my mom and dad, this was like when our son was, I want to say he was two or one going on two. My mom and dad had him for my birthday. Me and his dad went to New York for my birthday, and so he was with them. And while he was with them, my mom was trying to comb his hair and everything. It was giving him a little bit of problem. So my dad took some scissors and he just trimmed the top, the parts that was, you know, snagged, And so my son's father got really upset about it, and he got mad at me because he was like, they pretty much my parents, and how they gonna go and do that? And I'm telling him, I'm like, dude, I'm here with you. I didn't know that they was gonna do that. Like, why you get mad at me? And we was already having problems in our relationship anyway, so it was just like another thing for him to argue with me about. And I was just like, I said, well, they just trimmed the top of his hair, and he was like, well, I wanted to take him to get his first haircut and this. I'm like, it's not like my dad shaped him up, like he just like cut it a little bit. He was like, no, because I was supposed to take him to go get his haircut, his first haircut, and all this different stuff. And at first I was just like, I don't get it, and you making a big deal out of it. And honestly, it was my birthday, and I just was like upset because I was like, I can't even enjoy my birthday. And but now, hindsight is 2020. I get where he coming from now. It's true that sometimes the what is it? The tone and the delivery of the disappointment could be a little bit, a little bit more, nicer. It was just like an argument. It wasn't even like a, hey, this really bothered me because such and such. And it wasn't like a calm conversation. It was like a, your parents did this and blah, 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 blah. So back then I automatically took a defensive pose because I'm like, dang, I'm here with you. I didn't even know they did it. But also I was like, I'm not tripping over it as much. But obviously he had a problem with it. And I want to say sorry. You know, like I get it now. I get what you're talking about, because for a grandparent to exercise right over your child, um in a way that puts them in a position like they're the parent and you're the parent, it does it is disrespectful. Okay, it is disrespectful. I want to say another thing is piercings. So, you know, sometimes uh it might be that, you know, a little girl, she ain't got her ears pierced or whatever like that, and the grandmom is like, you know, got my little granddaughter looking like a little boy, you know, because her ear's not pierced, right? And you know, and the grandmom already got her mind. Well, next time I have her, I'm gonna go take her to get her ears pierced. And when I take her and I show her mom and her dad, they're gonna be so happy that I went and got it done, and they're gonna think that, you know, I took a weight off their shoulders and blah 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 blah. And then, you know, the mom and dad sees the little girl and they're like, "What did you do to her ears?" And they're mad. Because it's like, why did you go and do that? We didn't want her ears pierced. We didn't want, or when she got her ears pierced, we wanted to take her. You feel me? So it's just a lot. What's another thing? Okay, so in the case of like when the grandparent is against the spouse of the against the spouse of their child, like let's say the mom and the dad are going through a divorce, right? And sometimes parents should just stay out of it. They should just, parents of both of this, because they grown folks and they should be able to come to an amicable decision together. And also they should know how to be adults when it involves their children, right? So let's say they playing nice, right? They playing nice, but for whatever reason, the grandmother, the paternal grandmother, has something against the mom. So she does everything in her power to influence the grandchild, and in ways pit the grandchild against the mom because she don't like the mom. So this might be certain things like, let's say, this overstepping boundaries as well. Let's say the mom says, let's say the child asks the mom, "Mom, can you get me a cell phone?" Right? This is another thing. Cell phones. Mom, I want to get a cell phone. Mom says no. You know, the daughter doesn't even ask the dad because she know like her dad gonna say no. And not because the dad and the mom are in cahoots, but just, you know, she just know that her dad probably not gonna buy her no phone. And she goes to her grandmother instead and says, "Grandmom, you know, I really would like a cell phone, this, that, and third." And then the first thing the grandma says is, well, asks is, "Well, what's your mom say?" And the girl said, "Well, my mom said no." And then she's like, "How dare she say no? My grandbaby need to have a cell phone," and goes and takes her to get a cell phone. Now this granddaughter has a cell phone that the mom doesn't know about because the grandmom got it behind her back. So now she's like walking past her daughter's room, and she's hearing her daughter giggle, and she's like, "Why is my daughter in the room giggling?" And she listens, and she's like, "Is she talking to somebody? Who is she talking to?" And she opens up the door, and lo and behold, the girl is sitting in there on the phone, the cell phone that her grandmom got. And so she yanks the phone out of her hand, asks her, "Where did you get this phone?" And the girl's like, "I can't tell you." And she's like, "Where did you get this phone from?" And so she calls up the dad. And the dad's like, "I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't get her no phone. I don't got the money to get her no phone after all the child support I'm paying you, you know?" And so so he's like, "I don't know where the phone came from." And so you know, she threatens, "I'm gonna take the phone, I'm gonna smash it, da 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 da." So the girl finally relents and she says, "Grandma got me the phone." And she's like, "What?" And she's like, "Grandma got me the phone. I wanted the phone. She said, how dare you not get me a phone?" And she got me a phone. Now, now, in this case, this is a manipulative child, but a child nonetheless. Because the child is like, "Well, I wanted a phone. My grandma got me a phone. What's the big deal?" But the mom probably had reasons why she didn't want her child to have a phone. She probably didn't want her to have a phone because it's so many things going on with social media and predators and all this different stuff. She probably was like, "I don't want my child having a phone, and all these weirdos have access to my daughter that I don't know about." And she calls up the grandmom and she's fussing at the grandmom. "How dare you get my daughter a phone? You know, you know, you can have this phone back. She don't need a phone, blah, 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 blah." And the grandma like, "Well, I was just trying to help." And she said she really wanted the phone. And it's like, "No, you did this deliberately to spite me because you knew I told her no." And that's just one of several situations that people have been in with grandparents thinking that they can override the parents' rules. Like, I think it's really unfair if a lot of these parents had a chance to raise their children with no interference from their parents, and then they turn around and they decide. Now, here's the trickle effect. There might be a little bit of a trickle effect, because it might be that the reason why this grandparent is so involved is because when they had their kids and they looked to their parents to be involved, their parents was never involved. So they said, "Well, I'm not going to be like that with my grandbabies. When I have grandbabies, I'm going to be involved in every aspect of their life." And then there's a trickle down effect. Or they just know what they know. They just model the behavior that was shown to them. That even though they hated it when it was done to them, they turn around and do the same daggone thing. And it's just this slippery slope, right? So really quickly, I'm going to read a Reddit post. I'm trying to figure out which one I should read though, because I got 3, but for the sake of time, I'm only going to read one. I think I'm gonna do. Let me see. I'm gonna do this one. All right. Bear with me. All right. Okay. Okay. This is a good one. All right. "We've been having issues with my father-in-law / mother-in-law, respecting our wishes regarding how we'd like to raise our 2 daughters, currently 1 month and 2-year-old. We constantly catch them doing things behind our back, some relatively harmless, like giving our 2-year-old candy and cookies, others not so much, like kissing them without getting their consent. We are trying to empower them to say no to kisses and hugs if they don't want them. Obviously, the 1-month-old can't give consent yet, but for her, it's a strict no kisses policy for now due to COVID, if nothing else." So this was obviously written in COVID times. "They have vocalized their discontent with our wishes, but begrudgingly agreed to abide by them. We have, on many occasions, caught them in the act of violating these wishes. When called out on these violations, they deflect or play dumb. I thought the rule was X. I didn't know it was Y. Things like that. We've noticed they try to take our children out of the room or wait until we aren't looking to do these things, which is really weird. Um, but I digress. We've seen this pattern for all the things they disagree with. But the one that disturbs me the most is my father-in-law and kissing. Before enacting our rules, he would kiss our oldest ultra aggressively over and over. I initially wrote off his affinity for my daughters as that of a typical grandparent. But recently I've been wondering if it is at a level that is unhealthy. He is constantly demanding, often rudely, in an asserting dominant sort of tone, to hold our children. And when he does, so, you can sort of feel how badly he wants to force kisses on them, as if we're gazing at a cup of water he's not allowed to drink. I can't. Hold up. Whew. Let me read this over. Hold up. He's constantly demanding, often rudely in an asserting dominant sort of tone, to hold our children. And when he does, so you can sort of feel how badly he wants to force kisses on them, as if he were gazing at a cup of water he's not allowed to drink after being stranded in the desert for days. On many, many occasions, we caught him either kissing our 1-month-old or kissing our 2-year-old without consent, often when he thought we weren't looking. We called him out on this. He simply ignored us. Often at family gatherings, he'll be sitting at a table full of people having a lively conversation, and he'll just be staring intensely focused on my daughter playing off in the distance, completely ignoring others at the table. Usually, he'll also relentlessly try to coax her into coming over to him, despite her doing usual kid stuff, playing with the other kids. I've noticed a few occasions where it seemed like he was trying to get along with our daughters, usually using something else as a ruse, i.e., let me help set up the nursery while you're at the hospital, while our 2-year-old was at home for the birth of our second daughter. It's also worth mentioning that he has a long track record of petty lying and impulse control issues, which amplify my concerns. He has essentially no social connections, and sometimes it feels like he is using our daughters to fill some emotional void in his life. After much debate, we sat down and had a very awkward conversation with the in-laws, explaining that we won't be blown off and that we need to distance ourselves if these patterns continue. Only a few visits later, we caught father-in-law kissing our 1-month-old when he thought we weren't looking. My wife agrees with me wholeheartedly regarding my concerns, but sometimes disagree on the course of action and insists he would never do anything weird. I'm trying to distance my daughters as much as possible from him, and I am fighting to never leave them alone with him. But I often feel guilty that I might be being too harsh or even paranoid, though I'm pretty confident that the latter is not the case. And I'm worried that this might be a tough battle to fight for many years, at least until the point when both our daughters can report back about things that happened they didn't like. Whew. Y'all, somebody, the father-in-law is a like Mandu would say, is a roach, a big old cockroach. Okay. Um. Yeah. Very weird. If you and that's another thing. There's a lot of parents that are now doing empowering situations because with their children because you know, there are predators out there, and there are people that are a little weird when it comes to their children. And so, and it's not the days of old where, you know, it used to be like a sign of disrespect if you didn't hug a certain relative or kiss a certain relative, and how all these relatives used to like sweep things under the rug and not say anything. Check out my episode Family Secrets. But they would sweep it under the rug. They wouldn't say anything. They would still have the child around the person because they didn't want to believe that this person would do anything wrong to harm their child. So there are a lot of parents out there, especially a parent that has experienced anything like that in their childhood, and they're looking out and making sure that their child isn't affected. They're now saying, listen, if you don't feel comfortable hugging this person, if you don't feel comfortable kissing this person, you do not have to. And I am not going to force you to. If you are office about this person, I'm going to pay attention to the signs my child is showing me. And I really like that we are going into this direction where we're trying to care more about the child instead of how the instead of the feelings that might be hurt of the person doing the inappropriate stuff. um so there are a lot of parents out there that are enforcing this, and there are grandparents. Now this case is a little weird, because a lot of weird, so they might have to check something with that. And I'll, you know, I hope that the daughter, because the person that was the person that wrote it was the husband of the it is the husband. And so his wife, this is her parents. And so I would be asking her, like, did your dad ever do anything to you? Like, why is he acting like this with our kids? Like, it's really, really weird. Um, but I guess asking it like that would be a little, you know, inconsiderate. But it makes you wonder, right? But that's a rule that the parents have in place. Then why aren't you following this rule? Why do you feel like you are above what what they say, simply because they are your children? And what a lot of grandparents have to do is they have to realize that their child is not a child anymore. Their child is an adult, and their adult child has children. And it is unfair to make them feel like they cannot express themselves, and let you know that there are boundaries when it comes to my child. And a lot of times it's parents that don't have boundaries when it comes to their children. Like the young lady said in the first video that I showed, she said sometimes controlling grandparents are also controlling parents. So they already are in this mode where they're like, I control everything, and if I don't control it, then I if I don't have control over it, then everything's going to go wrong, right? So that's why they are the way that they are. Now, some people might be like, oh, you know, people that don't have the luxury of having active grandparents in their children's lives, they sometimes they be like, what's the big deal? What's the big deal? And then there's some things where they can kind of agree with, but they're probably like, I wish my mom and dad was, you know, involved or even here to be that active and involved in my children's lives. Like my children don't have grandparents to be all up in the mix. You feel me? But there's like being involved in a healthy way and being involved in an unhealthy way. And what we're focused on today in this conversation is being involved in an unhealthy way, because at the end of the day, now I'm gonna talk about this situation. I'm gonna bring up this situation really, really quickly, because we want to talk about an unhealthy way, right? So I had a cousin who liked to undermine her mom's authority, you know, um, really gave her a tough time. Every time she ran away from home, she wouldn't run away to a friend's house. She wouldn't run away to her boyfriend's house or nothing like that. She would run away to her grandmother's house. The mother of her mother, so her maternal grandmother. And the maternal, and then the thing about it is that the maternal grandmother would never put the grandchild in her place and be like, you need to go back to your mom's. She would just let her be there and said, you know, maybe y'all need to just cool down or whatever like that. Now, another thing is that I don't think she would even call the mom to let her know your child is here. So the mom just knows that her child ran away, don't know where she at, but eventually comes to know that the child is at her mom's house. And she's like, Mom, why didn't you tell me she was here? And I'm up here looking for her and all this stuff. Da, 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 da. And she is like, well, my grandbaby came to me and wanted to be here. And so, but she's like, but Mom, you're not allowing me to be a mom. You're not allowing me to have rules and discipline in my household. And then the mom is like, the grandparent is like, hey, I'm not stopping you from having rules and discipline at your home. You can still have all of that. She came to my home. But then she's like, but Mom, that's what I'm trying to tell you. If she feels like every time she disagrees with my rules, she could just run to your home and not follow any rules, she's not going to follow my rules. She's going to always come here. And then the grandparent is like, well, ain't nothing wrong with that, because then you ain't got to worry about disciplining. And she's like, Mom, that's not the point. And so it's like this continuous back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And so now the child is seeing this and is like seeing her grandmom as her savior, her mom as the bad person, and she's an unruly teen and she just wanted things her way. And the thing about it is that there's something called karma, right? And so that cousin ends up having children of her own, and she gets thrice the trouble that she put her mom through. And you know, it's crazy because it was never like, I don't think her kids had her mom to run to, because the relationship between her and her own mom was so strained from how she behaved as a child and how it affected her relationship with her own mother, that it was kind of like they didn't really get cool until they got older. So this is what I'm saying. I'm saying all this to say that when the parents have rules in their home, and like I said, the child is able to run to the grandparents whenever something goes wrong and the parent doesn't set them in their place, like, that's your mom. I'm not trying to be involved in nothing that y'all got going on. You can take that back over there. She would now how my mom operate, she will listen to see what happened. She will listen to the child side and she probably listen to the parent side, right? My son is not at that age right now that he's causing any problem like that or whatever. Um, but and I will hope that it stays that way. But let's just say that I tell my son he can't play video games. He gets mad and he gets on the bus or the train and goes to my mom's house. He gets there and my mom will be like, "What you doing here?" And I'm happy to see you, but what are you doing here? And he says, "Mom, my mom, she said I can't play the game. Da, 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 da." What happened? What transpired? And she would listen to his side, and then she knows that teenagers lie. Judge Judy said it best. When do you know a teenager is lying? When they moving their lips. So she probably be like, "Listen, little boy, don't come over here thinking you could just play the game because you was wrong. Your mom took away your privileges, and she know that I'm a level-headed. She raised me, so she know I'm very level-headed, and I wouldn't enforce it, and I wouldn't give him a punishment unless I felt like what he did was so wrong that he needed to be punished. That's how I am, right? I'm not just going to take away his game because he left the toilet seat up. Like it got to be some type of egregious thing that he did that I would be like, I got to take away his video game, right? So my mom know that I'm a level-headed parent, so she's not going to go against what I said. And even if you feel like your child isn't a level-headed parent, like I wouldn't say abusing the child. Like if your child is abusing their own child and you want to step in and make sure that they're not doing it no more, thank God for you. All right, go ahead and do what you got to do, handle your business. But if it's something like she took the game away or she, don't be going in there guns blazing talking about how you gonna treat my grandchild like this, da, 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 because now you making it look like the parent is unreasonable and should never even do what they did. Everybody has a different way of disciplining their child. Maybe when I was coming up, there was a switch, there was a belt. you know, Nowadays it's taking away the electronics. There's no timeout, but there's taking away the electronics, turning off the Wi-Fi, turn off the mobile hotspot so you can't do nothing. You feel me? So that's the form of punishment that I work with, right? It don't always work, but it's a starting point. I would never hit my child because I'm like, it's not gonna do nothing. Cause I don't have it in me to be like, I want to whoop you. I might say it jokingly, I'm gonna whoop you, but I'm not gonna actually do it. So at the end of the day, grandparents, I'm not gonna say stay in a grandparent's place, because some of y'all probably don't even know what that is. Some of y'all, have been put in a position where you have to, on many occasions, step in and be the parent for your grandchild. And if it happens more than enough that now you are actually the parent of the child and not the grandparent, then this is not for you, because you have been put in that position to now have to do all the parental things that you probably don't even want to do, but because you are a good grandparent and you are a great parent and you know how children are supposed to be raised and you know how they're supposed to be taken care of, you're like, I gotta step into this role and I gotta play super grandma. You feel me? And so this is not for you. This conversation is not for you. But to all those overbearing grandparents that feel like they need to put their influence on their grandchildren and not take into account the disrespect that they are showing towards the parent of the child. Yeah, this conversation is definitely for you. Now, before I end this hot topic, I'm going to show y'all one more video. And this one brought a tear to my eye because I never watched Blackish. I never watched it. I never thought I needed to watch it, but I feel like I need to go and watch it. I hope they put it on Netflix so I can binge watch it. And if it's already on there, hey, now I'm gonna go binge watch it. Because there's a whole issue, and I was telling you about the grandparent that likes to disrespect the spouse of their child. And Jennifer Lewis plays Anthony Anderson's mother on the show, and her name is Ruby. And the beautiful Tracy Ellis Ross is plays Rainbow, her beau, and that is Anthony Anderson's wife. Now, and I think I don't know what season this is, but she ends up having another child. And so this is an exchange that happened between Bo and Ruby in one of the episodes of Blackish. So I'm going to play that for you guys right now.
He's sleeping. How'd you do that?
I gave him a little something to eat, knocked him right out.
Wait. Why is all of this still here?
Yeah, I gave him some formula.
What? Ruby. He's never had formula. I'm just breastfeeding.
Well, I thought your milk might be keeping him awake on account of the medication.
Oh my God.
And from the looks of it, I was right.
Are you kidding me? What the?
Okay, just calm down.
I'm not gonna calm down, Ruby. You know what? I put up with so much from you. You make fun of my hair. You make fun of my clothing. You make fun of my cooking. You make fun of my blackness.
It's more your whiteness.
I'm not joking. You walk all over me, and I let you in my home. But you've crossed a line.
Hey, I was just trying to help.
No, you weren't. You're never just trying to do anything, Ruby. You were trying to make me feel bad.
Oh, come on.
No, stay out of it. Stay out of it, Dre. Do you think this is easy for me, Ruby? Do you? Motherhood is the most natural thing for a woman. And I've had 4 kids, and somehow I am struggling right now. I cannot seem to make enough milk. I feel filled with anxiety. I feel weak. I feel embarrassed because of all the things that I can't do, and you are making me feel so much worse.
Okay, now, it was just a little formula. Don't you think maybe you're overreacting?
I'm not. I'm just not. I'm not. And you need to get out of my home. Because there's no way I'm going to get better while you're here. So you need to leave, and you cannot live here anymore. You need to go.
Andre, she's acting crazy. And you need to talk to her, okay?
Mama, not this time. You gotta go.
Yeah, man. That, first of all, can we give a round of applause to the acting in the scene, okay? Because they made me feel. They made me feel. And as a mother, I remember the days when I could not produce enough breast milk and I was feeling stressed out because everybody's like, oh, breast is the best and all this different stuff, and I just could not produce enough, and I wasn't getting enough sleep, and I was just always anxious, and where I went from being able to go, when I was pregnant with my son, I was wired when I was, once I had him, and his having to deal with his dad being like, I don't want him having formula, blah 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 blah. And I always just like, I'm struggling. Like she said, I'm struggling. But I get where she's coming from, because if you are trying to do it and you wholeheartedly want, I mean, first of all, them bottles was full. I could not get a full bottle of breast milk. Okay, like like I can't get no. So it was hard for me to pump that much breast milk. So for her to have 2 full bottles of breast milk in the refrigerator, and the mom turn around and give the baby formula, and the baby ain't never had formula, now you done messed up. You done messed up the program of the baby. Because the baby is like breast milk, right? And now you done the formula. And so now the baby is gonna want formula. And it's gonna be hard to get him to even drink breast milk. And now this is wasted breast milk. Oh my gosh. Breast milk is like gold. Okay? Breast milk is like gold. Like just Hilarious was just she had just had her baby, and she was talking about how I think her sister was watching the baby, and what she did was she heated up the sister heated up the breast milk to feed the baby, and then like the baby drank a little bit of it, went to sleep, and then by the time Jess got home, she looked on the table and she realized that it's still breast milk in this bottle. And she's like, how long has been sitting out? Because breast milk can't sit out. Formula can't even really sit out. But because formula is not human, is not from the breast, it can last a little bit longer. But like after, you shouldn't ever have it sitting out. But breast milk sitting out, and then she asked her sister, like, what happened with this bottle? Why is it sitting out? And she's like, oh, well, he had a little bit of it and he went right to sleep. And she's like, well, when did he go to sleep? And we talked about hours ago. So she was mad because this is breast milk that gotta be poured down the drain. It's not easy. It's not easy getting a full bottle of breast milk. I can tell you from experience. So, while some people are blessed to be able to not only breastfeed their children, but breastfeed other people's children. Um, and it was this movie called The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, right? And the mom, she was breastfeeding her baby, and then this lady was she was mad at the lady that had the baby. Well, y'all just gotta go watch Hannah Rocks the Cradle. But there's a part in there where the lady, she still had breast milk from when she was pregnant. So she started breastfeeding the other lady's baby behind her back. And so the baby wasn't taken to her breast. So she was like, why my baby not taken to my breast? And it's come to find out that the lady was breastfeeding her baby, behind her back. Oh, it's crazy. Y'all gotta watch Hand That Rocks the Cradle. Such a good movie. But anyway, yeah, man. Yeah, man. That clip made me mad. And I love Jennifer Lewis. I love me some Jennifer Lewis, man. You know, but that clip alone made me be like, I'm with Bo on this one, because how you could just change the baby's whole autonomy just by just giving them something that their body's not used to, that, you know, and of course the baby gonna be in a stupor. You done gave them some manufactured crap, and now it's gonna be hard for her to even go back to giving him breast milk. So like, I understand her anger, and that's another situation of grandparents overstepping boundaries, which was the topic for the night. The topic was, how dare you set boundaries? I'm grandma. You know, I want to just remind y'all, if you are watching a replay right now, and you wasn't able to catch me live, make sure that you hashtag the word replay in the comments, to let me know that you were here and that you tuned in after the live room, but you viewed it. You feel me? Yeah, how dare you set boundaries? I'm grandma. Uh, it was some things touched on tonight. I hope you got a lot of value out of what I've shown you tonight. Our Tdtv music video of the week is 919 Representing by Reg. So I want y'all to stay tuned for the music video of the week. I hope that you have a great rest of the week. You know, the holiday is coming up. So tomorrow I'm gonna be making sweet potato pies. I don't know about everybody else. What you gonna be cooking for Thanksgiving? Do you even celebrate Thanksgiving? Because I don't want to step on nobody's toes. You don't want to celebrate. I'm not gonna force you to celebrate. I'm not gonna ask you why you don't celebrate. I get it. I get it. I get it. Everybody celebrate what they want to celebrate. But if you are celebrating, what you cooking? Can I come over? Can I have some? Can I have some food? But I hope you got a lot of value out of what I've shown you tonight. And as always, have a great week. And I'll see y'all all next week. Once again, the Tdtv music of the week. I can't. Blah, blah, blah. The Tdtv music video of the week is 919 Representing by Reg. Y'all won't see me no more tonight. And I want to thank y'all for rocking out with me. Think Different TVs every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Shout out to Invitation by Jarrell, Queen, been rocking out with me since the beginning of the show. Make sure that you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell on my YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any new episodes, replays, or exclusive interviews from Think Different TV. Also, let's share the love by sharing the live. And after you share, make sure you hashtag Tdtv. Even if you're watching the replay, make sure you hashtag replay and hashtag Tdtv. And a special thank you to our sponsor, Euphoria Water, because without our sponsor and without you, Tdtv could not be made possible. Okay, so that's enough of me. I want to thank y'all again. All right, I love you guys. Bye.
I'm coming in hot.
Hey guys, Lashia here from Think Different TV, which is every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Shout out to my Tdtv fam all over the country. And I have a Tdtv exclusive for you concerning my sponsor, Euphoria Water. Euphoria Water is the cleanest, healthiest water in Philly, alkaline with minerals, no chemicals, no additives. It is good and good for you. If you're going to hydrate the right way. Get you Euphoria Water today. You can find Euphoria Water on IG under Euphoria Water. That's UPHORIAWATER. And if you live in the Philadelphia area and want Euphoria Water delivered to your home, contact Captain at 267-707-8279. And why are we in my bathroom? Well, I want to show you my new Euphoria Water shower head.
There you go. It's so bright and shiny and beautiful. It took me literally seconds to set up. I just unscrewed my old one and screwed this one on. It has several different settings. You can get the jet setting. You can do the regular shower setting. It is amazing. And also to know that I have the purest water hit my body is the greatest feeling. So make sure you make this investment, because I'm so happy that I made this investment. Call Captain at 267-707-8279 to put in that order, or you can hit them up on Euphoria Water on IG. I'm telling you, it's the best investment, the best thing I ever did.
Hey, this is your favorite niece, Aaliyah. You're watching Think Different TV, hosted by Lashia, and this is the music video of the week.
I keep it coming like Nick Cannon Seaman. Adventurous just like a goddamn demon. Scheming and plotting like a commander. Tell me who's really more dumber than ya. What's my name? R-E to the G. You can't S-double-E me. I'm tired just all these little babies rapping. Tired of all these rapping strippers clapping. I never dealt with petty niggas, but it's a worse. You represent me, I can see, but I'm seeing the worst. They're soft just like a piece of Starburst. Bitches stay living like they feathers. Tell me where I'm at. 919 represent. Tell me where I'm at. 919 represent. Tell me where I'm at. 919 represent. Tell me where I'm at. 919 representing. Lots fuck it up after I done scoop it up. Your style crisscross after I made you jump. Cats can't spell, not even grammatical. But if you have the nerve to say that you lyrical, who besides me say they flyers? Tell me now, it's hard for me to digest. It's a mystery, call Encyclopedia Brown. Don't call me Bugs Meanie, boy in the town. I feel contemplated when at the most aggravated. Don't expect me to be too damn G-rated. Never self-esteem being real authentic. While haters me get stuck being on my dick. Don't try your best to undermine me. I fuck girls better like Kim, Whitney, and Freddie. No rest together, your crew for the slaughter. If disrespect enter, don't even bother. Tell me where I'm at. 919 represent. 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 You be envious about the way I hustle. Curious, that's about the way I pull my muscle. Don't give your seed knowledge when you lacking. Think it's rather unique, it's only reaching. I'm living for the future, what the past is my present. Experience so much, that's why I stay consistent. 919, best place to NC. Show me anybody that calls himself an NC. Take it up, spit it up, little jump. Wanna start some shit, like their name is Buttercup. Tell me where I'm at. 919 represent. Tell me where I'm at. 919 represent. Tell me where I'm at. 919 represent. Tell me where I'm at. 919 represent.
GoFundMe is not life insurance. The time for life insurance is now.
Go drink water and mind my business. Drink water and mind my business. I go drink water and mind my business. Drink water and mind my business.
But the secret is you got to coordinate. Most people don't coordinate, so you got to coordinate. I'm touching to be confident. You need a man, Sherman. No matter what, you got to strut.
Can you strut? You could win $100. Join the Strut Challenge. Video submissions are due December 1st, 12 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. The rules: 1 minute long, use Strut audio, hashtag Strut Challenge, follow at Lashia Star. Winners are announced December 15th at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Will you pass on the opportunity, or will you stand up to the challenge? Imagine a high-stakes trivia game show where contestants face off in intense battles of wit, strategy, and nerve. Every decision matters. You can take a chance on yourself or your competitor with the ultimate goal to come out on top and win the grand prize. It's not just about knowledge, it's about strategy, guts, and the thrill of uncertainty. Our enigmatic host, Bubbles, guides contestants through the ultimate trivia showdown. This is Think Different TV's Player Pass. Are you ready to pop? Catch Think Different TV's Player Pass every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Think Different TV YouTube channel. We're still in round 1 of the Tournament of Champions. Episode 3, Big Daddy Beard goes up against KB. Who will advance to the next round? Find out by tuning in Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Think Different TV YouTube channel. Enjoying the show? Big fan of trivia game shows? Would you like to be a contestant on Tdtv's Pop? We'd love to have you. Contact us at 267-225-1824 or email lashiastar2@gmail.com.
The champ is here! 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 The champ is here!
Think Different TV, live every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hosted by me, your girl Lashia. Join me as I discuss social topics, spotlight independent artists, and share financial tips. Join the conversation. I want to hear what you have to say. Think Different TV, where minds meet. You're the reason I